Hey guys, welcome back to Trains with Shane. We have another Will It Run episode for you today. This one is a purchase that I picked up off of eBay. It, along with several others that I've bought recently, was something that I bid on. Not really spending a lot on, but if I could get it for cheap enough, I figured what the heck. This is one of those. I didn't pay 75 bucks for it. It's Kato, as you can see. Looks like we have a receipt here from back in 1995. Interesting. Check this out, guys. Joe's Hobby Centers, Dearborn, East Detroit, Farmington, and Rochester. Looks like this was at the Dearborn location, February 21st, 1995. I was still a young man, probably a freshman. Let's see, 95. Yeah, it was freshman year of high school. And this sucker brand new was $68 and change. It's very cool that that's in there. I believe this is the first used item I've ever purchased that had the original receipt in there for a little bit of history and provenance, because that matters in model railroading. It's not like I'm selling a 71 454 Chevelle Super Sport and need to prove its history. What we've got, a C30-7 by GE in Norfolk Southern colors, made by Kato. Let's pop this guy out of here gently if we can. It's in there good. Careful, there we go. So we've got our instructions and stuff in the back. That's good. Alright, let's get in here. Road number 8031. Looks like it came from the Norfolk and Western Power Pool. You can see below there. NW. Definitely a little dusty. Looks pretty good. Have the block off plate, as is traditional for those units for Norfolk Southern. Light package up top. Looks like we do not have numbered number boards. I wonder if those are in the box here somewhere. It's not a huge deal for me. Some kind of magnetic coupler. Sorry about that, guys. Had a little tickle and had to cough there. Looks like it is spring-loaded, but it's not springing back 100% like it should. I wonder if this is a Microtrains or Katy coupler that was added on later. If memory serves me, this probably came with the little plastic Kato knuckle couplers, although it may have come with Rapidos. That was kind of a transitional era. Our handrail up there looks like needs to be rejoined into the right hole. It's kind of swept up there. Otherwise, the handrails and stanchions are pretty good shape. Nothing's popping loose. Looks like our body is sitting up a little bit by the rear end here. Not hooked in all the way. It doesn't want to go any further. Again, blank number boards on the back. Molded in details are pretty good. Again, this is a mid-90s Kato. Honestly, Kato was really making good stuff then. Them and Atlas by this time were also making pretty good units. R3 chime horn. Radiator. A bit of schmutz down in the grills. Some greasy paw prints, probably from me. It's pretty weighty. The wheels are a little bit crusty. You can tell this wasn't shelf clean. And this was sold as not verified to be a runner. Which I thought, Kato? Are you kidding me? Can't get that, have to sit back down. I wonder if there's something, someone's got the LED bent on the, although this has happened, the, remember guys back when they had the lights on the little tiny PCBs that slid into either end? I have an Atlas GP40, I want to say, maybe a 38 MKT that I got from a friend. Same thing. The shell wouldn't sit all the way down, and what happened is the last time he had the shell off, he accidentally inverted that board, and so the light was sticking up too far, and it wouldn't let the frame sit, the shell sit down on the frame. So let's see. Well, here's a little bit of discovery, guys. Looks like someone, here's the original part of the number board that someone has wired back into. Same up here. And looks like we have a decoder. I'm not sure what brand. There's our drive line is free to turn, so if it doesn't run, that's not our problem. But it looks like that pile of stuff is likely what's keeping our shell from closing down all the way. We kind of what does that say? Was that like an LS? I don't see any markings on the PCB. Was this milled out for this? Looks like it might have been slightly. See right here? But yeah, we've got a decoder in here. It almost looks like a small decoder made by Lens. Yeah, I wonder, well, it's DCC, so we'll just have to troubleshoot it. So, with that little piece of information in hand, guys, what do you say we get this over to the DCC layout, find out what it does? Actually, let's think here. Is there... Yeah, the motor is electrically isolated for the purposes of being wired into a decoder, so where does that go? Is it down through there? It looks like. Should this board be in here? I'm guessing so. Anyway, I was going to break out some DC electrodes and see if the motor works, but I can... These things are so hard to mess up. If this thing doesn't run, it's almost certainly a problem with the decoder, maybe the wiring, maybe a short somewhere. So let's get this over there, see what it does, see what it doesn't do. Alright guys, we're over here on the layout, temporary layout. We've got the chassis of our C30-7. Let's try cab number 3. See if that gets us anything. Let's try some lights. Nothing. No movement. Okay. Let's try the road number on this unit, which is 8031. Okay, anything for lights? No. Anything for speed? Also no. Let's wiggle some stuff. I wonder if we are possibly dealing with a short. Is this even... Whoop, whoop, whoop. You guys see that headlight? Let me drop my controller here. Watch the long hood headlight here. Let's pull this up to try to avoid some shorts. Something is happening when we futz around with this front light board. Let's get this up in our teeth. With the resistor in here, I'm not sure. I mean, it's in here loose. So I'm not sure how far I can shove this thing. It's definitely custom. Let me get off camera for a second, guys. I want to get this. The board has a little bit of oxidation on it. I pulled it out. You guys see that? Right here. Let me find some of my wheel cleaning sandpaper, the very, very, very fine grit sandpaper, and I'll bring you guys right back. And through the magic of television, I've returned. So, I've got my very fine grit paper. I don't have 3 hands to do this, but I'm gonna try to get in here and just brighten this up a little bit on this solder pad. It's kind of precarious because that black wire is right next door. It's cool on the screen here. It's a lot bigger than in real life. See, we've got material coming off of it. Let me get us a clean piece here. Cleaner. Now I'm going to get up under the parts where you shove this light board into the frame and see if I can get in there nice and deep like. These little light boards do not have contacts on the other side. It's just blank PCB. Let's see if I can get you back on camera. See, I'm getting in here. So they're still using the split frame. I'll show you the bottom side of this PCB. As you can see, there's no contact pads. Let's see if we can get this, get it back in frame so you guys can see it. This side doesn't grab very well. Let's run her back down to the track here. Let's get back into our cab number here. Still no lights. Let's wiggle this around again. I saw a flash of light again. This decoder could need to be reset because the light flashes but doesn't stay on. That makes me think that it's receiving power and turning on momentarily and flashing the light. There's really no way I can you guys can't see it because I'm covering it up with my thumb. See if we get a flash. Still nothing on our controls. I'm gonna go back to number 3 just in case. Nothing. So what I'm going to do, and this is going to be kind of tricky but maybe kind of slick. Let me zoom back out. You guys know that I'm using my DCC++ EX wirelessly with the app on my phone. This is not serving as a standalone base station. It's jacked into my home network. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my PC, launch Decoder Pro in JMRI, connect to my station here over the network, and see if we can do a reset on this thing. And I will bring you guys right back with the results. Okay guys, I tried reading the decoder from Decoder Pro here, and it is not reading. So I'm willing to bet we are either dealing with an entirely dead decoder, or it could be that it's just not making contact long enough, and that intermittent light we're seeing is intermittent because it's not, not working. I do have some other options to try here. I've got my NCE power cab, which I've used to reset decoders in the past with success. I also have another DCC station I can try to use, a Digitrax one. My trepidation with that one is that I've never used that particular one before, so I'll probably use the power cab. So, since we didn't have any success with JMRI here, let's dig out the power cab and see if we can make that work. Alright guys, we are back out on the layout. I've disconnected my DCC++ EX setup, and what I have virtually needs no introduction. It's the famous NCE power cab. If you get onto a Facebook group and post something like, hey guys, I want to get into DCC, but I'm not sure what I should buy. Any suggestions? Question mark. I'd say 70% of the people are going to recommend this right here, the NCE Power Cab. Of course, you'll have people that recommend Digitrax and people that will recommend building the DCC++ EX and stuff like that. This was my first DCC command station. Very, very easy to set up. Very easier still to use. You got your buttons laid out here. You got your throttle wheel. What I'm going to try to do here is something I've only done a couple of times before, and that's to try to reset the decoder in our locomotive here. So to do that, usually you would prefer to do this on a dedicated programming track. I don't have anything like that set up yet, working on it. I've got some hardware on order to do that involving DCC++. But as you guys can see, my little switching yard here with Kansas City Southern, that's a whole separate piece that's not connected. There's nothing else on the main. So we're going to do what they call program on the main. Again, something that isn't optimal. But let's see, we're going to go down here to program. Where's it? Setup. Program. Oh, here we are. We're going to program on the main. So we're going to hit enter there. Uh, 003, I guess. Enter. We're not going to do motor control. We're not going to do function mapping. Effects, sound. Am I on the wrong thing? I might be. Let me try this again. Use program track. Set command station. That should be program on the main. Select program on the main. Is that not it? I'm trying to remember this all off the top of my head, guys. I know you guys are screaming at your screens. Use program track. Do one standard. We're looking to see if anything happens on our locomotive here. So it said manufactured 99, decoder version 46. This makes me think that it might have detected our decoder. Setup address, active long. Yes. 003, that's fine. Setup long address. Looky there, 8031 was already in there. Yes. DC mode, no. Accidentally went into these settings, guys. We're going to use long address. We don't need function mapping. We don't need any of that. Escape. Locomotive 3. Let's see. Where am I at here? Okay, we've got none of that. Let's try to enter 8031. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. It's been a while. Select locomotive. 8031. Enter. Looky here. If I could remember how to reverse direction, probably the button that says direction. There she is back there, you see it? Bring it back. Pull up our thingy. Well, I say we've got some measure of success here then, guys. Let's mess around here. Let's see, horn, whistle, bell, headlight. Yep, our headlight turned on, we changed direction. No headlight on that direction. What am I doing here? Put some speed in it. Come on. It started to move. I wonder if we're dealing with a small short or if the motor is funky. Let's change our direction again. Whoa. Dial her down. Let's make her come around again. Yeah, you'll see her back there. Let's slow her down. Change direction. Even though we have a direction change, notice our headlight did not come on. We're notching up speed, but she does not want to move in that direction. Okay, there we go. Change direction. Our little motor sounds healthy. Change direction again. Change direction again. Headlight. Change direction again. Headlight goes off on the rear but does not come on the front. Change direction again. Our headlight comes on like it should. And bring her right back to the middle of the screen here. Okay guys, that was a little bit of an interesting one. Will it run? Yes, it will. A little bit of a surprise. This was not listed as a DCC equipped locomotive. And like I said, I was pretty sure that this was a very old lens decoder install. I don't think I have them out here. No, I don't. A while back, and I don't remember if I ever did videos on these. Actually, I'm sure that I didn't. I received a couple of lifelike engines. One was the older style that used the lead weights and everything, and another one was the later style that used the split frame like the Katos and the Atlases of the day. Neither of them worked. Put them on DC, and you guys remember when I'd set the thing down, I'd wiggle it and the light would flash and nothing else? That's what would happen when I'd put it on a DC track. So I was playing around with it, popped the shells off. Sure enough, a little decoder was installed and looked exactly like this one. I went on the YouTube, as we do when we want to find things out. Saw a guy use a power cab to reset a decoder to defaults on his programming track. Followed those steps on both of those locomotives and they both worked. So I bought a 2 locomotive lot of 2 non-running engines and came out with 2 fully functional DCC equipped locomotives. I think one was an SD7 and the other I think was a GP40 or a GP38. So it looks like we've got the same here. Bought a locomotive not running, assuming that it was DC. Turns out we have a DCC decoder install after a little reset with the NCE power cab, which would not work with our DCC++ EX setup. That may be due to the fact that it may not let you program on the main. I don't know, I've never tried that. That's all new for me. I'm going to set up some other stuff later. You guys will see it on here when I do. Sorry I'm rambling, guys. I'm excited. Our well, it's not a U-boat, it's a Dash 7. Might as well be a U-boat. It works. I'm happy. Hopefully you guys have learned something out of all of this confusion, and I will see you next time. Until then, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.